This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important update to share with you. President Biden just said that a gas tax suspension may happen. I'll let you know for how long and how much it could be. Today is that announcement. Also, I'll give you the latest on the child tax credit gaining Republican support. Joe Manchin just cut another item from that big spending bill, and I guess there is a big spending bill. And also give you the latest on student loan forgiveness, plus the $1,000 stimulus check deadline coming up soon. And I'll give you some other more important updates as well. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below, and I'm giving $200 to my subscribers, and I'm picking the winners tomorrow. So you have just until today to sign up if you haven't already. Details of how you could potentially win the $200 down in the description below. So here is the big question. Stimulus check update. Is the Biden administration sending out more relief for rising gas prices? So we're hearing a couple of things here. So Biden may soon back a gas tax holiday plus rebate cards to address pain at the pump. So there could be, seems like gas tax holiday more likely, and rebate cards, although more favorable, doesn't seem likely at this point. So President Biden, this just came out right before me filming this video. So Biden will call for 3-month suspension of gas tax, though officials acknowledge it alone won't fix the problem. So I made I made a slight number error yesterday. I'll give you more details on that in a moment. First, so President Joe Biden will call on Congress in a speech today to suspend federal gasoline and diesel taxes until the end of September, senior administration officials said, framing the move as a necessary to provide relief to American consumers, but itself not enough to resolve the problem of surging energy prices. So, the president said Monday he could make a decision as soon as this week on whether to support Congress instituting a pause on federal gas tax of 18.4 cents per gallon, which experts have estimated could lower prices by approximately 14.72 cents per gallon. So in yesterday's video, I thought that the 18 cents per gallon was going to be passed on to consumers. I guess somewhere along the way that 4 cents is being lost, and it is going to save 14 cents per gallon. So basically, for every 10 gallons, you're saving $1.40. Let me know, is that enough for you? Is this a good idea for 3 months? For every 10 gallons you use, you're saving $1.40. Let me know your thoughts. Good idea, bad idea? So that seems like it could be a potential plan, but it's going to have to be passed by Congress. And as said before, it's not really solving the problem. There's going to be the 14 cents per gallon taken away, but eventually it's going to have to be added back in. Maybe gas prices will be lower by the time it gets added in September. We don't know. Let me know your thoughts on all that. So President Biden still considering student loan forgiveness. Here's what we know. At this point, another promise kind of on the table where President Biden said, yes, it's going to happen. Originally, a month ago, he said he was going to make his decision within a few weeks, but probably closer to the midterm elections. You would think that it's either a yes or a no at this point, but probably going to wait until they could get some votes out of it. So student loan forgiveness still leaning more towards yes. We just don't know when. And then Joe Manchin says EV, which is electric vehicle tax credit bonus, is gone from spending bills. So this news is interesting because it looks like there is a spending bill. This is another breadcrumb we're getting from what we're hearing about this big spending bill. So what's said here is Senate Democrats have scrapped a $4,500 bonus tax credit for electric vehicles made with domestic union labor that was opposed by Senator Joe Manchin as they seek to wrap up negotiations on a spending bill. So basically, if you were looking to get an electric vehicle, you're not going to get that $4,500 bonus tax credit. Let me know, were you interested in getting an electric vehicle, with high gas prices? Are they too expensive? Let me know your thoughts on that. So looks like they could be potentially wrapping up that spending bill. I'll keep you updated on that. And then also with Joe Manchin is choking off one of America's best anti-poverty programs. So What's being said here is the expanded child tax credit has been one of the United States' most successful anti-poverty programs in decades, and it's shameful that Congress has not extended it for 2022. About 3 million children were kept out of poverty when the program started last July. The premise was simple: raise the amount of credit a little and give it out a monthly instead of waiting for families to claim it once a year. So basically that $250 to $300 per month, that seems like it's scrapped from the big spending bill as well. So yeah, no child tax credit. But when it comes to child tax credit, stimulus updates, surprising allies joined the fight for a renewed child tax credit. So Republican Mitt Romney is leading an effort to reinstate monthly child tax credit payments. Romney's plan will leave 3.5% of very poor Americans with little or no assistance. So basically, Mitt Romney's plan, he just reintroduced it this past week. It was out for a while. It's the Family Security Act 2.0, and it's meant to encourage work and support pregnancy. So basically, with this one, it's a child tax credit, but there's a minimum of work that someone has to do in order to claim that child tax credit. So right here, when it says surprising allies, so I guess really it's just Mitt Romney, not really many Republicans on board with that. When it comes to fourth stimulus check update 2022, deadline fast approaching for direct payments of up to $1,000. So what's going on here is in Colorado, reminded people that they have to pay their taxes, their state taxes, by June 30th in order to receive the $500 for individuals and $1,000 for couples. So these are $500 and $1,000 stimulus checks, but you have to file your taxes by June 30th in order to claim it. So what is that? That's like about a week away. So there's the deadline with that. And when it comes to the gas tax holiday, whether it's a good idea as well as other parts of our economy and recession, take a look at this video clip right here. And I'm also going to give you the Republican perspective from former Vice President Mike Pence after that. Take a look.
Now to this, President Biden may call on Congress to suspend the federal gas tax ahead of the July 4th weekend. NBC's senior White House correspondent Kelly O'Donnell has more.
The great getaways of summer. American drivers feeling the heat as tens of millions will spend big to fill their tanks. For many, family destinations will be spots like this, where President Biden greeted beachgoers and talked about a potential plan to reduce the price at the pump. He says he may ask Congress to back a federal gas tax holiday.
I hope I have a decision based on data I'm looking for by the end of the week.
A proposal that could save consumers the federal tax paid on each gallon, just over 18 cents. A small, temporary savings to ease average prices hovering just under $5 a gallon. This week, the Biden administration will meet with oil executives hoping to increase supply.
I want an explanation from them as to why they aren't refining more oil.
On the broader economy, some experts see troubling signs.
The dominant probability would be that by the end of next year, we would be seeing a recession in the American economy.
But the president and his team insist a downturn can be avoided.
I think a recession is at all inevitable.
There's nothing inevitable about a recession.
Let's bring in CNBC's David Faber, see if he agrees.
Oh boy.
David, it's looking pretty inevitable from here. Is a recession inevitable?
I don't think so, Joe, but, you know, I do think it's interesting listening to Biden and obviously Treasury Secretary Yellen trying to make sure that we don't talk ourselves into one. Certainly there is a growing consensus that there very well may be a recession. Some even say that we may be in one now, which seems a bit hard to imagine, but we'll see. But at the same time, you know, there is a psychological impact of believing that one is inevitable, and it can tend to bring it on. So it is interesting having listened to what you were playing there in terms of Biden and Yellen and other government officials who are trying to say, whoa, wait a second, this doesn't have to happen.
What are your thoughts on that? Are things looking worse? It seems like it. It seems like almost all the experts are admitting that things are going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Let me know your thoughts on that. Take a look at what former Vice President Mike Pence has to say about President Biden in office.
President Biden wants the oil companies to refine more oil into gasoline. But at the same time, he's closing refineries. And we haven't built a new refinery in some 40 years. Now, I don't get this. Mike Summers of the API, as I mentioned, those guys say, look, yeah, COVID may have been a problem. But basically, it's regulations, restrictions, and various incentives not to refine. So who's right and who's wrong here, sir?
Well, Joe Biden is wrong, and it would be right to unleash American energy and take the boot heel of the federal government off the neck of American energy companies. Look, I just spoke today, Larry, here at the University Club of Chicago, focusing on the economy, focusing on a pathway forward. But there's no question that what's unique about this economic crisis that we're facing, inflation at a 40-year high, gasoline prices up 75%, shortages, supply chain is what's unique about this, like I tell an economist like you anything, but to your viewers, different from the Depression, different from the economic downturn in the 70s, different from the Great Recession of 2008. All of this is a man-made economic crisis with 100% of the blame going to President Joe Biden and the radical left Democrats driving policies in the Congress of the United States.
To the extent that our friend Mark Short would dare show me an early draft of your speech, I do notice that you took John Kerry to the woodshed. I guess Mr. Kerry's latest incarnation is he's the climate czar. But Kerry and some others are pushing this idea that no loans and no financing can go to fossil fuel companies. Right. This in an administration which pledges to end fossil fuels forever. So, coming back to the issue of refineries, if they can't get a permit and they can't get financing, then how in the world can anybody expand refineries, supply more gasoline, and lower the price? I don't get this.
That's right. Yeah, I said today here in Chicago, John Kerry and a cabal of bureaucrats have literally been bullying banks, telling them not to lend money for energy exploration and production to American energy companies. The irony of which, of course, is they're continuing to try and restart the Iran nuclear deal, which apparently would allow us to buy oil from Iran if they signed it into law. And I'm also told they sent an emissary to the dictator Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela, ostensibly to expand energy production. But I was in Ohio just last week when you talk about refineries earlier, Larry, and I met with all these great energy leaders there. You know, I graduated from high school in 1977. That was the last year that we built a refinery in the United States. And all these producers told me the only thing that is happening is that refineries are being built in other countries that don't have the safeguards for the environment or for employees that we have in this country. So it isn't that the production and the investment isn't happening. It's just not happening in the United States of America. And Americans are paying the price at the pump. But as you know better than most, that those gasoline prices are driving inflation. They're impacting the cost of everything that we are buying, all the goods and services across this country. So the very beginning of turning this economy around is to end the war on energy. And I called on President Biden to do that today here at the University Club in Chicago.
So let's step back for a minute. We've got a major recession threat. We may be in a recession. We may be on the front end of a recession, whatever. Nothing looks very good. We also have a major inflation threat driven by gasoline prices and oil in general. What would, right at the top, sir, what would a President Pence do to solve these problems?
Well, I can tell you that with new Republican leadership in the Congress and a Republican administration in 2 years in the White House, the first thing to do would be to make those Trump-Pence tax cuts permanent. The second thing would be to unleash American energy, open up federal lands to permitting, open up the Alaska National Wildlife Region, begin again Keystone Pipeline, begin to develop the infrastructure necessary to move energy. And on a broad basis, you know, one of the things that drove 7 million new jobs, wages setting records, household incomes setting all new records during the Trump-Pence years, was that we cut more federal red tape in our 4 years in office than any administration in history. And so we need to go back to the idea that for every new federal regulation, we need to find 2 that we can repeal. Those are just the beginnings of that. Having free and fair trade deals, negotiating deals that put American workers first. But the last thing we should do, Larry, as you said in your riff, is talk about raising taxes or increasing spending. I mean, which is literally what the administration in behind closed doors is continuing to try and negotiate the opportunity to do. They're not gonna build us back better if they get that deal revived. They're gonna build us back broke. And the last thing we should ever do with inflation at a 40-year high and Americans feeling real pain at the pump is raise taxes on American businesses, let alone businesses that are creating the very energy that's driving the American economy.
What are your thoughts there? Do you agree, disagree? I like to give you both the Democrat and Republican perspectives so you have a well-balanced view of how things are going. Pretty funny how different things are said from either the Democrats to the Republicans, the left, the right, the liberals, the conservative. But let me know your thoughts on all of that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully brighten your day a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Oh, hi guys, I didn't see you there. Just to let you know, you guys are great to me. You guys are special to me. I need you here beside me. And you are so nice. Do you know why? Cause you're so nice right now.
Thank you so much for watching and for being a part of the Wise Flies community. Don't forget, tomorrow I am picking the winners for the $200 check, so you still have some time to sign up if you're watching this video. So basically on the June 23rd is when I'm going to pick the winners at random. So details of how you can sign up down in the description below. And probably we were thinking about going blueberry picking today. Blueberries are in season right now in South Carolina in June, and we missed it last year, but we really want to go this year. Hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out if you want to check out my latest pickleball video, you could click up here, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, be safe. Thank you for watching.